All right, so I've been trying to get this going for a while. In this exchange, you'll see me talking to Coco, a really good friend of mine. We are going to talk about a whole range of topics. Even the first topic's kind of crazy. It's about how the Earth sits in space, and then it just spins off from there. We're going to talk about the evolution of iPhones, how automation's taking over and changing the workforce, and then it goes into the Kobe statue in LA, online gaming, what we should do if we ever get into a universal income, how knowing about money early can help us throughout life and different things that we can do. Somehow it branches off into social injustice. We get into a little bit about Louis Farrakhan and Malcolm X. Then it spins into the different classes that people have in their respective high schools throughout the United States based on population. And it eventually kind of ends with just how different civilizations throughout history were and how the distribution of power went along. Ends with religion, and then somehow I lose the footage. At the end of that, like, batteries are dying, and it's just the first episode. So bear with me. A lot of kinks are being worked out. It's a lot more to come. Yeah, enjoy. Coco Rivas.
God damn, boy, I'm like, he forgot. He forgot.
I had to clear. So what I was waiting for the whole time was for me to be able to clear out space in my basement, for me to like not be doing it in my house, not be interrupted. But I had to clear out mad stuff. Like,
Damn.
right now I have a setup where this is probably gonna be like a 10 to 20 minute video because I don't want to have too much to edit at first, and I don't know what's gonna sound like. My microphones aren't set up yet. Like, I was postponing it because I was waiting for our shit to just be perfect. But I was like, if you wait for perfection, you're never gonna like see what the mistakes are you have to fix. You have to first work on what needs to work on by working on it, by having the errors there. So at least getting the footage, you gotta start somewhere. So,
Of course.
like, the more I set the place up, the more eventually I know what to work on. But if you just always have it like, let me just make sure everything is perfect first in my mind, and then I'm gonna start, it's never gonna start. But I'm sorry for holding you up for so long, literally years.
Literally.
Not like, oh, years. No, like, bro, the last time we did it that we tried was in Central Park when I still lived in New York.
Yeah.
What, like 2021? And we talked about what was it? Automation. This is a story about a guy named. Of course, because I remember what you told me about how like everything's gonna be automated. That's just becoming so much more apparent, especially with AI.
From like the last time, since we stopped talking, I was going to university.
Sometimes and just kind of like be outside and like just do your own thing.
Oh yeah, bro. Yo,
Look at
get
this.
up.
I got my camera set up down there,
Yeah.
and it's pointing over here this way now. Try to be more centered in the video, because the way I'm gonna have this set up is I have a camera over there, I have a camera here. Eventually, I'm over here still talking about the setup years later. Stuff about like the past, like I highly believe in like human evolution, like just from like I'm from a single cell to like how we pretty much came to be. The fact that we're like on a rock that's spinning in space and it's going hundreds of like millions of miles per hour. Like, one topic that's always been in my head forever is that, like, all right, I'm gonna blow your mind real quick, right?
Yeah.
Right now you're on Earth, right?
Right.
Think about the room that you're in. You're in this space, you're in the room, but you're also on Earth. Right now, if you were to hold out like a piece of like air, that amount of space, like let's say right here in front of my hand, think about the Earth as like a ride that you're on, that like is spinning, right? It's spinning like this.
Alright.
Two pieces of mass can't occupy the same space at the same amount of time. With that same train of thought, if the Earth is spinning like this, like it's spinning like this, right? Day and night, day and night, day and night, and then it's going closer to the sun, and then it's spinning like that, like it's going like this pretty much. That means that we're moving away from a space. So let's say right here where my finger at is like January, where I was born. And the opposite end of January is, let's say, like August, July is like over here. It has to cycle back to be in this space. Already by tomorrow, the Earth is spinning, and it's gonna be somewhere else, like over here, or over there, somewhere. So the amount of space that you have in front of you right now, you're only in that space breathing in it because the Earth is letting, like its own atmosphere is letting you breathe the oxygen. But tomorrow, even that same space that you're in right now is not the space that you're actually gonna be in, because the Earth is gonna be in another space of space. Like, you're gonna be somewhere else tomorrow. So right now it's almost like if, like, let's say the thing that where I was getting at from this point is, I was born in 1988, right? I was born somewhere in DR in 1988 on Earth, but the Earth doesn't have a fixed position. The Earth is continuously moving to other parts because we're like just following the sun's gravitational pull. So here's the mind-blowing part. If you follow what I was saying so far, if I was born in 1988, that's 36 years ago. That's the time of when it is. But where is it in space? How far away are we from 1988 to where the Earth was in that time space? If I could like fly out of the Earth and look past where the Earth was in 1988, how far away is that from where we started? From 1988 to now? Like that simple question, I know it's never gonna be answered, and that alone also drives me crazy. That I don't know, like, if I was to go far away enough into space, like where that point in space would be.
Right.
So, like random simple thoughts like that, and then you spin off to me then next, like what you thought about what I said. Like, where do you, like, isn't that kind of crazy? Did you ever think about anything like that?
I have. Yes, I have, actually.
Like, sometimes you could just sit down and just, like, shit is so crazy that we're even here. Like, civilizations don't even make it. And we just happen to be in a country that's only 300 years old. We're about to fuck shit up. That's gonna be hot, man. But back to the automation thing. Have you found anything new since our talk of Central Park? Because I probably, like, put in, like, some insert right here of, like, stuff you were saying back there. Because I still have that footage in my camera.
Well, if I can recall, I think I was telling you just about, like, where I guess the bigger picture of what they're doing with technology and how they envision, like, social engineering to play out over the next, like, 10, 20, 30 years. But yeah, of course. I mean, as you can see, it's just only been a couple of years, and since we last talked, and it's already advanced so far. Like, ChatGPT just dropped January of last year to the public, and since then, Greg, I'm not sure if you know this, but like thousands of AI tools have been generated since. Like, it's like it went from. Do you remember the times where, like, a new phone would come out, like a flip phone, like the flip phone started getting skinnier and smaller and shit, and then all of a sudden it was like the flippy fucking phones, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're at an iPhone, and then iPhones turned into all kinds of fucking.
So, like, you said that. Look at this. This is something that when it first came out, it was 2007, and I went crazy. I went insane.
Tell me you got a sidekick. Oh, what? Oh, you got an iPhone.
It's not an iPhone, bro.
No.
This is what started it all. This right here, this is an iPod.
You got an iPod.
iPod 1. So iPod 1 came out, and it was able to play music. This shit is an 8 gig iPod. 8 gigabytes is like 2,000 songs.
That's
You
wild.
put months of music into a phone now. But this shit right here, they were able to eventually they put a screen on it, and that's all they needed. A screen with no buttons is where everything went now after this. Then they put the phone app in it. Then you got the iPhone 2G first came out, which is the first iPhone, you can only get it through AT&T. AT&T had like a whole thing about it. They were like the only ones that were giving out iPhones. But yes, I know what you mean about stuff moving super fast. Like ever since the iPhone came out.
And it got even faster. I mean, from that what you're holding right there to the phone that you're holding right now.
And then from like what was the first? It was a iPod, from this iPod to the iPod that was like a square that you would wear, that they eventually made the iWatch in, to the Ultra 2.
Yeah.
This shit. Yo, it went to like a watch that not just like gave you notifications, but now the watch pretty much became the phone.
Yeah, right.
Like, and I've been down for Apple ever since like middle school, because they did something big. I think I told you, they came to my middle school, bro. And this was just like when like freshly when the internet first came out. Like when like Mavis Beacon was a thing where she taught you how to type, and like almost all the games were based on typing. Like every game we played, like they were pretty much just teaching you how to type. And I noticed like all the kids that came after us, I don't know if you were that good at typing, but most of the people that came after us, they really don't know how we type so fast. And our parents maybe type that fast, but like really like our generation, anybody born from like 85 to like 95, like that's when like you were the right age for you to see the internet really come to be.
Yeah.
Because you were like a kid that still had the understanding to like go on a computer and like type stuff pretty fast. And I'm like really, really proud of you, bro, because like 2011, you didn't even have an iPhone. You didn't know. You were like, Greg, teach me this, teach me that. And like, you saw me as like some genius, and I was just like, yo, I'm just a guy with a phone. And then now you're doing stocks, you're doing Bitcoin. You were teaching me about NFTs a few years ago. I was like, yo, this man really came up. He wanted to learn. He got his phone going. He's a whole man now with his Superman haircut. He went from the Mohawk Coco to, hi, I'm Clark Kent.
I'm Clark Kent. How dare you?
Yo, but I was seeing this stuff the other day about exactly, it was like a documentary on OpenAI and like how they've released ChatGPT, and that they're hoping that they release it to the public, and that they didn't even plan for most of the stuff that ChatGPT is doing to happen, but because they gave it like almost like its own like self-recognition of like what it is, it started teaching itself stuff. Like it started, they put a computer, like there was this like soccer game.
Look at that. Oh my goodness.
They've got a pretty good kick on them, can still get quite a good game.
A soccer match at DeepMind looks like fun and games, but here's the thing. Humans did not program these robots to play. They learned the game by themselves.
It's coming up with these interesting different strategies, different ways to walk, different ways to block.
And they're doing it. They're scoring over and over again.
This robot here.
Raya Hadsel, Vice President of Research and Robotics, showed us how engineers used motion capture technology to teach the AI program how to move like a human. But on the soccer pitch, the robots were told only that the object was to score. The self-learning program spent about 2 weeks testing different moves. It discarded those that didn't work, built on those that did, and created all-stars. There's another goal.
Oh.
And with practice, they get better. Hadsel told us that independent from the robots, the AI program plays thousands of games from which it learns and invents its own tactics.
Here, you think that red player is going to grab it, but instead it just stops it. Hands it back, passes it back, and then goes for the goal.
And the AI figured out how to do that on its own.
That's right. That's right. And it takes a while. At first, all the players just run after the ball together like a gaggle of, 6-year-olds the first time they're playing ball. Over time, what we start to see is now, what's the strategy? You go after the ball, I'm coming around this way.
It started teaching itself stuff. Like it started, they put a computer, like there was this like soccer game they made where they taught these little robots that have an internal AI how to like just score the game, and they had to like do a whole bunch of like different trials and stuff, and the robot itself taught itself how to play soccer. That sounds a lot like Terminator. Like that the robots are just kind of like on their own learning stuff and like teaching themselves things, like learning how things feel, not just like what they are. Like the way that ChatGPT patterns are is like if they, let's say they want the program to recognize me, they'll see my face and they'll first be able to just connect the dots of like who that person is, and they'll let's say they make the mistake that I have like a gray jacket instead of a black one. The programmers will show it millions of black jackets until it gets it what a black jacket is, and then it never makes a mistake again because it's learning basically through mistakes. It's like a baby right now. Like it's a baby that's growing and becoming like this other stuff that like eventually we're not going to be able to control this. Because what if the AI makes a system that teaches? The whole thing is that it's teaching itself. We're not even teaching it. Like there's different AIs too. So I'm thinking like there's gonna be an AI maybe war between them. Hopefully that they kill each other off and they're trying to help humanity. Maybe they see us like something they have to protect because we're like relics of the past that made them. Like we're the gods. But we have to just kind of be careful where this shit goes because bro, it can get insane. It can literally be Terminator for us.
It can literally, oh, for sure. I don't know. I remember seeing one dude in specifically. He's like one of the world's smartest men. Like they got a Netflix TV show about the guy, and he was like as like a 15-year-old kid or something like that. He broke into like FBI documentation because he just wanted to like.
I know who you're talking about. He started off with like Minecraft. He started off with Minecraft, and then like he found a hole that Minecraft had, and they were telling he was trying to get like money off of Minecraft because he was like, hey, you guys have this going on, this is like a hole, and because Minecraft didn't give him any credit, then he started like branching off of Minecraft into like other companies, not the FBI directly, but companies. Like he's the one that hacked the GTA 6 90 video clips of GTA 6. So Rockstar got really crazy that he did that because that was like supposed to be the teaser campaign for all of 2024. They were gonna do that, and now they really can't because he leaked all.
This dude's an older guy. He's older.
Oh, I'm talking about like a 15-year-old kid.
No. Well, he was like 15 when he broke into like the CIA fucking documents and shit. He got locked up, and instead of letting him serve all his time, the CIA came to him and were like, yo, work for us. Because, like, how the fuck did you break into our system? And they have a whole TV show on this guy and everything. But wow. I was watching a more recent interview. Now he's older. Now he's like in his 50s or something like that. And he's like a billionaire because he invented like all this software and shit. But he was doing an interview and he was asked about AI because, and specifically like what you were just saying, like, yo, it's thinking autonomously and eventually it's just going to teach itself to want to exterminate us or whatever. But just to make like the interview short, the guy, I mean, this dude's a genius. He's been working with AI since like the 80s, you know, and
since
like,
the 80s.
Oh yeah, for sure. So just imagine like all the technology that you're seeing now. They've been having this technology. Like they only release technology to the public after they've used this and abused this and learned from it.
Wow, that's the same shit Felix was saying. Remember that? Like you remember Nights talking to Felix that I'd be just scared out of my mind. Like, yo, that's happening. If all this stuff is saying is true.
But it's true. I mean, just think about it. I mean, it only makes sense. I mean, they would only release something to the public once they know that it's safe to release to the public. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, it's not going to cause mass extinction or whatever. And that's with anything. It's with whatever technology that comes out. Years of technology, they've been having that technology for like the last 50, 60 years before that. Or at least prototypes of it. So, I mean, all this, like, you know, the new thing that just came out for Apple, the
No Vision.
The new Vision thing.
Yeah,
bro, they've had that since before they dropped the Apple Shuffles. I'm telling you, that's been in the works. I'm telling you.
But it just wasn't made by Apple.
Yeah, well,
it was like their own thing, like their own companies that only they know about.
Exactly, and then eventually it gets sold to corporations, and corporations mass produce it, and they make money off of it. But the technology itself has been around. So like what people don't understand is that AI has been around for a long time already. And like what is it when Google corrects itself? Like when you're typing on Google and it'll just autocorrect?
Yeah.
That's a form of AI. That's AI doing that. So, like, people think of AI and they're thinking iRobot, and you got motherfucking shit like flying saucers going around and shit like that. But AI is as simple as the autocorrect on your phone.
That's true.
For sure. That's the new phones, Greg, by the way. Like, phones are not gonna be a thing anymore. We're gonna have the contacts or the shit that you can put over your eyes, and all of a sudden, like, you can see everything on, just like the Apple Vision. Like, that's the prototype that they're giving to the public first. But watch, it eventually it's gonna be like, we don't need phones, we don't need anything except for these little glasses or these little contacts or whatever the fuck you put near your eye or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can basically just see, and it's almost like augmented reality. So you're seeing everything that's in actual time in reality, but you're also seeing, like, your messages pop up on the left-hand corner, and you can fucking look over to the left and swipe it, and, you know, it's the same thing as the Apple Vision, whatever the fuck it is. I'm sure you've seen the whole, what do they call it when they...
The keynote?
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the whole thing on that, but, bro, that you know, you could do all kinds of shit with just your body movements or a flick of your fingers or whatever the hell.
Yeah. I can answer phone calls like this. Like,
Yeah,
I'll be like...
you can do shit like this, and then all of a sudden you're moving through the internet.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, like, I can actually, like, with this watch, I can go like that when I get a phone call, and then it comes to my glasses. I'm already eliminating the phone little by little.
With your iPod, you got everything right here, you know, whatever. Workout music, whatever you want. One button, you got it. Yeah. God forbid if you're still working with cassette. Remember the tape? It's not on this tape. Where is it? He told me it was on the Max L90. Where is it? 90 minutes of music they gave us, remember? And they bumped it up. They gave us 120, 2 hours. Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I was calling my friends, dude, 2 hours of music. Where are they going with this stuff? Now I got my friends with the iPod. Hey, Sebastian, I got 79 weeks of music right here.
Greg, where are they going with this stuff?
Where are they going with this stuff? Yo, who is it that thing that was, who's that, Sebastian? 90 minutes of music. Where are they going with this stuff? February 8th, 2024. I'm gonna go to LA.
Okay.
So February's number 2.
Have you
8.
been to LA?
Nah, I'm going for the Kobe statue. They're gonna put a statue.
Oh, okay.
And
Right.
it's no longer the Staples Center. Now it's called the Crypto.com Arena.
Yeah, I was there last year.
You were? For what?
Yeah, I went twice to LA last year.
For what?
For a business trip.
Nice. For the Cervincas?
With the Syringas, yeah.
Nice.
So we went out to LA. I got to stay in the Hollywood Hills and the closest house next to the Hollywood sign.
Wow. That's hot.
That's pretty dope.
So they picked, I like how they picked, like, it's almost poetic they picked that day.
Hi, everyone. As you know, Kobe played his entire 20-year NBA career as a Los Angeles Laker. Since arriving in the city and joining the Lakers organization, he felt at home here, playing in the City of Angels. On behalf of the Lakers, my daughters, and me, I'm so honored that right in the center of Los Angeles, in front of the place known as the house that Kobe built, we are going to unveil his statue so that his legacy can be celebrated forever. Hope to see you there.
Pick that day with those numbers because you know what those numbers symbolize, right?
What, his jersey?
Not just his jersey, it's his daughter is number 2, so February. So she had been like number 3. We've been doing it in March, but she's number 2. So that's February. He's number 8 and he's number 24.
There it is.
So like February 8th, 2024. I'm mostly going because I want to get footage for my 360 channel. I want to go with my drone, and what I've been doing recently is attaching my 360 camera to a drone so that you could spin around while my drone's in the air, and I'm getting footage. I'm getting footage of the drone shots, and I'm getting footage of the 360 camera too.
Yeah.
I haven't uploaded, I think, any videos like that yet, but I have like 4 or 5 already that I'm gonna be putting up. One in this thing that's by my house over here, this like big ass mountain that has like some Japanese structure on it called the pagoda.
Oh, that's dope.
And I'm also doing Central Park. I already have up, but I haven't uploaded it. But I'm pretty hyped, man. I just hope that the world doesn't go to shit before I just want to make my, like, if I could have some nice videos on my YouTube channel, I could die after that. Like, let everything go down after I have some nice videos.
Oh shit.
But what else were we gonna talk about? I did want to bring up a topic. Do you think there's any kind of conspiracies with Kobe dying right before COVID?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of conspiracies on a lot of people dying during, before and right and during COVID.
Fucking Nipsey Hussle a few months before, then Kobe, like all the positive people who would have helped us OD during quarantine, dead on some mysterious shit. And Nipsey dying over him releasing that Dr. Sebi, his stuff is true, and then supposedly some unrelated event got him killed with some people.
Right.
It's sad, bro. It's really sad, and like, I honestly always feel that we're living in a world where there would have been 2 futures off of one present, and we're in the bad future. It would have been a good future and a bad one, and we're definitely in the bad one.
Well, I don't know. I think only time will tell.
All right. I think that is enough for today because I got lights dying and my other camera just.
You recorded all that?
Yeah. And my phone is recording too. So I have 3 different.
Incoherent.
Yeah, but it's gonna. What I'm gonna do it is gonna be nice. I'm gonna start right now, just making something out of it, and then I'm gonna build from that. Cause it's gonna be nice, man.
All right, well.
What's up, Coke?
Gregory.
Have you set up your GoPro yet?
Nah, I have not. I need to do that.
So I got so far, so you have different angles. My 360 camera and I got my 80D.
Okay, so we got
This background here. So I'll give you a few minutes. Well, I guess for the second one, every video is a learning experience. For the third one, you'll have your GoPro. So, one of the things that I remember we talked about in the beginning was, remember when I was trying to have you download some game, and you were telling me that like, oh, so can you like make your own weapons and then sell the weapons to other members and make money off of it?
Yeah.
What made you think that was an option? Like, do you think that there's other games that are like that? That like NFTs are gonna take off, where people are gonna make their own, like with their own in-game currency that can make them money?
Yep. That's exactly what. It's already happening. That's already a thing.
What game do you know is like that?
So, you could go on. It's called Decentraland. And so basically it's like a virtual reality world, and you go there, and so like you can, it's like a whole city. It's almost like Sims, right? Like the Sims game, except for you could like walk around and go into like virtual reality,
Almost like Second Life?
Huh?
Like Second Life?
I don't know what that is. That's a game?
Yeah, it's like a game where like, it's not really a game. It's more of like you make an avatar, and then you go into this virtual world where people are like selling stuff and like but it's stuff that you would have to, let's say Best Buy was involved. You'd go to a virtual Best Buy, you would look at things, and then you'd say, hey, I want to buy that in the game, but then you'd have it shipped to your house like the real object.
Just like that, yep. Just like that, except for also so you can buy shit like that. So have you ever seen the movie Ready Player One?
I saw the trailer, but I never seen the whole movie.
You gotta watch. So it's almost just like that, where it's like this future dystopian scene where everybody's career is online. Like there's no more jobs for people like the normal jobs. Everything that people do to make money is in virtual reality world. So everybody has their own avatar, and they spend money on what their avatar looks like, and you can go in these games and perform like a certain activity or a certain job or a certain function, and you'll get reimbursed in basically digital currency, and you use that digital currency to buy you like real world shit, your groceries, your clothes, your tech, whatever, your video games, whatever you want.
That's crazy.
And so, yeah, Decentraland is just like that. Like, you go into virtual reality casinos and be in a fake casino, but win real money. And so their video games are already getting produced like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Like in Grand Theft Auto, you can actually, so they're making this so it's gonna be like these what do you call them, like the Oculus
Oh yeah, like the VR.
Yeah, all the VR glasses. Put those on, and as soon as you put them on, you can play the game. You can play these games in them, and anything you do in the game, like you could monetize it. So if you buy your character some kind of skins, or they have some kind of weapon, and you customize a weapon somehow, you can actually take that and sell that off to somebody else in this virtual reality world. But for real compensation, this has been a thing. Kids in Africa have been doing this for like 20 years already with Final Fantasy. Yeah, like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
They would do like the most impossible tasks and shit in Final Fantasy and unlock crazy levels and get all these kinds of perks, and they would sell that
The game progress?
Yeah, exactly. And they would sell that profile to kids who just wanted to just skip the entire, they don't want.
Why play the game then?
No,
That is so stupid.
Well, because it's one of them games that you could just keep going on forever. So they just wanted to skip the whole, I gotta do 1 million missions in order to get this one fucking thing. So instead, these kids from Africa and India, they would do it. And the way they make money is just sell it off to these white kids in America and Canada and shit.
Yo, I think I know what you mean, because the game I was trying to have you play, the thing about that game maybe it's like Final Fantasy, because it's that you start off as a novice character with no class. Literally, you don't have any kind of job. And then there's like, you could pick a paladin, an assassin, you could pick all kinds of stuff. And eventually you pick a class and you have to buy weapons for this character, and then the character can keep doing stuff, but then they have to keep also working. Once they get like to the top level, they have to keep working to continue playing the game. Like you have to, let's say this, for example, every time you swipe your sword, you strike your sword, if you use a magic attack, there's a certain amount of magic that gets wasted, and you have to replenish that magic with like grape juice, and the grape juice becomes like magic and gives you more magic, and you have to keep working like in the game to be able to keep playing. So like they found a way to like monetize things. It's almost like if Mario was the example, for him to jump and break that block, he has to continually keep getting new hats that are stronger and stronger. Like they found a way to make everything harder so that you have to keep playing the game with more difficulty.
There you go.
Damn.
There you go. And all this like the crypto and the blockchain and shit, it's all based off of game theory. So this is nothing new. This has been in like video, like you just said, like in Mario, where you just run through the course and you're collecting coins and shit. And each coin can get you an upgrade by after you collect so many coins, or like in Sonic, you collect so many rings and you get like an upgrade.
Yeah.
And so that kind of virtual reality economy has already existed in games like that, except for now the difference is that it's going to affect you in real world, in real time. Like now you can actually buy things because the world is changing. You see all these AI technologies and virtual reality and augmented reality is coming, and the problem with most business is humans, right? So like when if you have a company and you have to hire people to run X amount of job functions in whatever you do, the biggest expense that you're always gonna come by is hiring help. And the worst experience you're gonna have is hiring help, because people are unreliable. They'll get sick. They just won't show. They'll do a no call, no show. They get pregnant. They gotta take time off. They gotta take vacations. They gotta take piss breaks. They gotta go eat.
Yeah.
And you're paying them for all.
If I was in AI, I'd be like, yo, fuck humans, bro. Robots all day.
Well, the thing is, like, AI is not gonna be able to take over anyone's job like that. But what will happen is it will take over someone's job, but somebody still has to monitor it. Somebody still has to put it in place to take over a job.
Maybe in the beginning, but like over time, AI is gonna be its own thing, because their whole thing is learning, and they're masters of learning. Like, it's like you could be a good basketball player, you could be like a good race car driver, whatever. But if you're an amazing learner and you're immortal, and you could just keep making more of yourself, we haven't had anything like that in human history. Like, I've been at Best Buy. If I would have stayed till September, I would have made 10 years. Because 2014. Hope it's not a crazy day at work. I started at Best Buy, and it's 2024, but I started in September. When I first started, Black Friday was still the same craziness that it was before, like in the early 2000s, where it was lines outside of people. But over time, I noticed that it was less and less and less. Even up until like 2016, was when I first started noticing, it's like, yo, we don't have to have much like barriers and stuff outside. We don't have to give numbers out no more. Because by 2016, 17, 18, it was like way less. Then 2020, Black Friday. 2020 was March where the craziness started. So then by November 2020, it was like they had already learned from quarantine to shop online. So let me tell you, Coke, this year, 2023 Black Friday in November, guess how many people were outside? When a line takes like, let's say 200 people to wrap around the building in New York. But I mean, this is PA that I'm in. Maybe in New York they might have had a line still, but I expected still a line in PA because there's still houses around here. This is the only Best Buy for like a long amount of space, like miles and miles. At least like for like 50 miles, there's not another Best Buy.
Yeah.
So there was 10 people outside.
God damn.
Like,
I mean, everything's online, and that's the way it's gonna go. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the stuff that's coming is good and bad. When I first got to the store in 2021, there was an employee that worked with us. His name was Jacob. He came from a store nearby, like I think like maybe 3 towns away. But he said that they got rid of all the employees at that store and sent them to other stores because they were doing construction. They were sectioning off half of the store to be a warehouse. And the other half of the store was going to be the sales floor. So if the whole store we have now, there's salespeople all over the store. But in that store, half of the store was a warehouse because they were going to make it mostly a store pickup store where people come in just to pick stuff up and there's no salespeople. The whole thing with humans, that's very in effect there, where they are trying to eliminate the salespeople and as much people as possible and just have less contact. Not just for COVID, but just for like the future coming up, which kind of adds to the conspiracy of, yeah, they were kind of preparing us for automation with quarantine so that they can start helping us like fast track onto online ordering. So like there's going to be a Best Buy, like the one in Downington that's around here. You go in there and it's tablets everywhere. Like not tablets to buy, but tablets to help you pick stuff. So like you are gonna go into the tablet and be like, oh, I'm here for a computer. I need it to have these and these specs. And it gives you a rundown of all the best computers. Something that would take a person a lot of training time to get, which you have to pay them for to learn, when the computer comes already knowing that stuff and they don't have to be paid. Like, it's almost like a no-brainer. Like, you would have to pick the computer if you were a business owner, but it gets rid of like that human culture aspect of like just being alive in modern times.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Most Panera Breads. Have you been in a Panera Bread lately?
Yeah.
At least the Panera Breads, like back when I was still living in Florida, like most of the Panera Breads that I would go into and all the Panera Breads here in Virginia, there's nobody there to take your order. You go up to an iPad and fucking do your order.
Oh, so they're already doing the Best Buy thing with the tablet.
Yeah. No, I walked into Best Buy the other day, and there's like half the staff that you're used to seeing.
One person per department now.
Yep. There's not even checkout people. You just check out. Everybody checks themselves out.
On their phone. Man. Where are they going with this stuff? 90 minutes of music.
No, but yeah, it's dope. What it will do is create more opportunities for people to become financially free and financially literate.
Yeah, you don't remember Andrew Yang?
No.
So there was this candidate when Trump was running in 2016 named Andrew Yang.
Oh yeah. The dude that wanted to give everybody
$1,000, any American citizen over 18. And the way he like sold that plan, it made a lot of sense, because he was like that automation's already taking over. Like he's like 10 years ahead, 20 years ahead. I feel like he's gonna run again and he's gonna win, because he's saying that because automation's gonna be pretty much taking over, people have less jobs to do. The 1% is called the 1% because they're not taxed as much. And if you just tax them 5% of their income, because they pay no taxes, most of them. You tax them 5%, and everybody in the United States that's over 18, with the population in hand right now, if you tax the 1%, 5% to their taxes, everybody can get $1,000 every month. And you could put that towards bills, towards your car, which will help the economy. Like, random businesses will get money. Like, it's a win-win for everybody, but it's just that you got to try to make the greedy people unfold their hands and give the money they got from their, like, there's money that they probably even don't want to give out because they're trying to maybe hold out for it for, like, their kids or something. Like, they don't want, like, they want the wealth to be there and not, like, it be something where they're giving money out that could potentially be for their own family or some shit.
Well, the interesting thing is, they say if you distributed the world's wealth out evenly to everybody in the world, and just a handful of months, all the wealth will be right back to the people who already had it. And that's because people don't know what to do with money. People don't know shit about money, so they'll just spend it basically. But people who have a lot of money, they have money because they know what to do with it, what to invest in, how to spend it, how not to spend it. They know about debt. They know how to use debt to their advantage, how to leverage it, and they know how to not pay taxes because there's laws set in place for these people that they could take advantage of. Anyone can take advantage of, by the way. Like, this isn't like a special thing. I mean, you do have to have money, but if you knew about money, then you could make money. And then if you could make money, then you should learn how to save as much as you can. And so people who, like, if that were to happen, like if Andrew Yang were to give everybody, or whatever president or whatever system got put into place, and they were giving people like these airdrops, the money's gonna be right back to the same.
That's
people.
crazy, bro.
The whole hood.
It makes sense though.
Jordans and the whole, you know what I mean?
It's gonna be like that Chappelle Show episode where like everybody got reparations.
Exactly.
I'm rich, bitch.
So it doesn't matter if you gave them $10,000 a month. It was still. It's not gonna make any difference to anybody unless they, take the time to learn about money and how to become financially literate.
Yeah, that's the sad part. Like they want. You ever listen to like Louis Farrakhan?
Why can't we come together? We obviously can come together. We just have to. We just have to find a way to do it.
The desire is good, but the reality is the total opposite of your desire. And unfortunately, as a young lady, you are not in the position of power to make the decisions to make America work.
Yeah, of course.
Really? Yo, we're gonna have some fucking amazing combos, bro. Like, whenever I get a chance, like on a long road trip or something, I'll definitely play some Louis Farrakhan, Malcolm X. Like, one of my favorite quotes is Malcolm X giving his speech about coffee. You heard that shit?
Okay.
It's just like when you got some coffee that's too black, which means it's too strong. What you do, you integrate it with cream. You make it weak. If you pour too much cream in, you won't even know you ever had coffee. It used to be hot, it becomes cool. It used to be strong, it becomes weak. It used to wake you up, now it'll put you to sleep.
He's like, it's just like when you got some coffee that is too black, which means it's too strong. If you add just a little bit of cream, it'll put you to sleep. Like if you if you add too much cream, you never would even know you had coffee. If you add cream, it'll make it weak. Which the whole in the sound clip that this is, I'm gonna play that shit because oh my god, the analogies that this man makes with coffee being equivalent to a strong black person who's getting influenced by like a white person who's making them weaker by like just being more like them. One of the things that I brought that up because Louis Farrakhan was saying that he wants like reparations and stuff, and like if they were to do that, like you said, if you were to give everybody in the world money, it'd go right back to the rich. Before they give anybody reparations, they'd have to first show people what to do with money so that like it can stay in the right hands. Exactly. Like it couldn't just be given out and then expected to stay as reparations. It'd be almost like a scheme. Like they would almost like give it out and then the money would be right back to them and we'd be like, wait a minute, how y'all got the money right back? And it's like, well, y'all gave it to us. Like simple as that.
Exactly. The real trick, the real difference maker would be to educate people from an early age. And this could have happened. I mean, we went to school on average, people go to school for 14 years, right? From kindergarten or from preschool to
at least high school, yeah.
Yeah, and some people go much more. You know, they'll go and get their fucking bachelor's and their master's and their doctorates. So that whole time, like I went and did the whole thing: preschool, elementary, middle, high school, university. That whole time, Greg, I could count on one hand how many economics classes or any kind of education that had to do with real life. You know what I mean? Like how to buy a house, how to get credit, how to cook some shit. You know what I mean? Like homemade, you cook the shitty pizza. You know, they didn't really teach you how to cook. You know what I mean? So that whole time, nobody ever educated anybody about what money is, how to make it, what to do with it when you make it.
Bro, you know what's crazy about you saying that? You had home ec, you had probably had a shop class, you probably had a driving class. You were probably in a place where your population was maybe in the 100,000s, not even 1 million people.
Yeah.
And I saw this map, which I'm going to show in this thing, that the population that's in New York City can cover up most of the West Coast. Like most of the northwest part of America, all them random like squared states could be covered up by that little bit of space that's in New York City, the 5 boroughs, because people are just stacked on top of each other. So the place with the most people, New York City, maybe like second most besides like Cali and Texas and shit.
Yeah.
Like the people in New York, I never seen a shop class, a home ec class, a driving class. We had everything. The most crazy thing we had that wasn't like just sitting down, writing down math, reading, or science, it was gym. We never had nothing else that was like that. But and we have the most people. But in places where there's people like Florida and stuff where they have less people, they'll teach them all this extra stuff and they'll like gatekeep all the information. And that's why New York is so crazy, because we have a bunch of people that are just taught like the most basic things, and then they're expected to function in a high functioning society. Like how's that gonna happen?
Yeah, they expect you at 18 to go out and get your own house and get a car and get thrown into, but it's a setup, Like in America, it's like frowned upon for families to stay together. Like when a kid turns 18, kick him, he can go do his own thing. Go kick him out, get him out of here. You know what I mean? So so other people in the world, like Indians and mostly everybody. I mean, Arabs, Asians, a lot of Hispanics. They keep the family tight until they made it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so the real trick would be to teach everybody what to do with money from an early age, because when it could be, you can learn anything right now. You a lot of people, when they get into the later teens, or early 20s or early 30s, they feel like, fuck it, it's too late. Because it could be overwhelming when you start learning about money and shit, because it's an ocean of shit to learn. But that's why if you started with the basics from preschool, like by the time you're in high school, by the time you graduate, you should already have like a sexy portfolio. I mean, you should have real estate. You should have all kinds of different bank accounts, trusts, onshore and offshore trusts.
At least CDs.
At least some shit. You know what I mean? I mean, CDs are whack as fuck right now, but yeah, at least that.
Mm-hmm.
Know how to read a contract. Know what credit is, how to use it. But it just never gets taught. So,
like, what I always try to keep in mind is that we're in America. It's 2024. But this country only started in the 1700s, which means that we're less than 300. We're maybe about 300 years old. Maybe 400 years old. Let's say from 1776 to now. That's like around 300 years, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty young compared to the amount of time other civilizations have lived. Like India is hundreds of years old, maybe thousands, right?
Oh yeah, thousands, bro.
Thousands of years.
They got Sanskrit,
Like they, the Anunnakis probably like
tens of thousands.
Like Romans were considered before us like one of the most successful civilizations, and they didn't make it, and they were around for hundreds of years. Like maybe I don't even know how long, maybe 800 to 900 years, like the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
But they didn't make it, and the only reason why we made it now is really because of like slavery. Like they had used slave labor, free labor, and then used all that money. The Industrial Revolution came. They got all kinds of shit going on, and then they were like, all right, now we're gonna police the shit out of the world. It's like teenagers telling old people what to do. Like, yo, I got the guns, bro. Like, whatever you do, I'm gonna police the whole world. Like, that's how we got into Vietnam. Like, yo, what's going on over here? What? And then, oh, you got oil? Now I'm gonna take that. Oh, but I'm gonna front it like this is happening. Like, it makes me really wonder, like, how much time do we got left? Like, how much can America keep pulling this off? Because now there's like, okay, so Russia and Brazil and China are getting together, and what you gonna do, America? There's only one Earth. It's not like you can go run away somewhere. Like it's all the two sides of the same coin.
Yeah. Well, the powers will just morph. That's what happens. Like the Roman Empire didn't disappear. Like it turned into the Vatican. The Church, the Roman Empire turned into Catholicism. And Catholicism turned, so the power went from Rome to, after Rome was in power, it was Eastern Europe. It became Britain, and now today it's the three-headed dragon. It's England, or the United Kingdom, America, and Israel. Those are the three superpowers those are the guys that are on top. Then they're together. They're all the same guys. Like when America won its independence against England, it didn't really. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't really separate from England. It's still the world's bank is England.
Mm-hmm.
And America is the world's military, and Israel is the spiritual center of the world. And according to the powers that be now. But it'll just change. It'll just change hands. And that's how it's been the whole time. Because before Rome, it was Greece. And before Greece, it was in Babylon. And before Babylon, it was in India. Before India, it was in Africa and Egypt.
The power just keeps moving.
And it just changes. Yeah, it just keeps moving around. But it's never going to disappear. But that entire timeline, people still live. You know what I mean? It's not like the power changes and all of a sudden, Rome gets wiped off the earth, and then there goes all the Romans. Like, nah, they're still around. It's just now, shit's changed. The politics have changed, the economics have changed, and people just move on.
Yeah. Like, it's still the same game plan, but the characters are different.
Exactly.
You ever heard of... I wish we had seen this when we were still chilling with Felix. This thing that they talk about how Jesus was...
Mithra of Persia, born of a virgin on December 25th, he had 12 disciples and performed miracles. And upon his death was buried for 3 days and thus resurrected. He was also referred to as the Truth, the Light, and many others. Interestingly, the sacred day of worship of Mithra was Sunday. The fact of the matter is there are numerous saviors, from different periods, from all over the world, which subscribe to these general characteristics. The question remains, why these attributes? Why the virgin birth on December 25th? Why dead for 3 days and the inevitable resurrection? Why 12 disciples or followers? To find out, let's examine the most recent of the solar messiahs. Jesus Christ was born of the Virgin.
He's like a continuation of an idea from like the first God that came, that had the same similarities as Jesus, like the virgin birth, like all that stuff wasn't original to Jesus. That it came from like Horus was the first one, and then they kept changing it. Like every time that like another population was big, they'd have their own God, but it'd have the same connotations of the Jesus figure. That
Literal, this actually happened. It's trying to teach you some kind of message, whether it's scientific, whether it's astrological, whatever it is. It's teaching you how to be a human on Earth.
Yeah. Like it's almost like the saying, "A picture's worth 1,000 words," but on crack.
Exactly. But on crack, cool, ain't it?
Man. I love where all this stuff is going. Like, this is going to be a great podcast, bro. Like, so far, episode 1 is fucking crazy out the door, bro. Man.
You watch sumo, Greg?
Like, sumo wrestling?
Yeah. Oh, that's my shit.
I don't think I've ever seen that. You know what my shit is, though? Like, that I've been watching for, like, the past year? How do you even have this? On ESPN?
YouTube.
YouTube? You're really into this. If you're watching something on YouTube, you really want to watch it.
Dude, no, I watch it religiously, bro.
Why?
Dude, I love sumo. I don't know why.
Oh, but you were really heavy into boxing and all that, so you're almost like a sports, like a contact sports kind of enthusiast.
Yeah, I guess so. And I started watching sumo maybe like a couple years before COVID happened. And then when COVID happened, I was just chilling at the house, and because the way they do it for sumo is they have a tournament that lasts for 15 days. And there's a tournament every other month of the year. And so every other month I would catch the entire tournament, and it lasts for 15 days. So they'll wrestle one day, and then the next day, and then the next day for 15 days straight out of the month. And whoever racks up the most wins is like the winner of that particular tournament. And I just got hooked, dude. I would watch it every month, all 15 days, like following the whole shit. And right now, I'm just an expert at sumo.
Wow. One thing I've been watching a lot, like it's a sport, is cop videos. Like cops pulling people over, and people like outsmarting them with the law. Like they'll pull over like a judge or like a lawyer. Damn, somebody cut that wrong.
I just got this.
Oh, okay. It's just moisture. Yeah. But yeah, like them shits are so entertaining because you learn so much. Like I love like learning new stuff that I can use, because literally like, this shit could save my life. Like I'm brown, you're white, you probably might not need it, but like there's this thing called the Right to Know Act that you ever heard of that Right to Know Act?
Yeah.
That you're supposed to record the police, you're supposed to get their name, you're supposed to hold them accountable pretty much for everything that they're doing.
For sure.
How long has this been? I feel like that's enough for today. Let me see. Oh, there's no timer on a FaceTime.
Okay.
But my camera already like We got.
It's already going
I got
this
33
deep.
minutes already of
Okay.
dissecting. So that's our session for today. We'll try to call you again tomorrow.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, Coco. That is a wrap. There's a lot of stuff I still have to work out. Episode 1, keep that in mind. That was 2 different days, but it was 1 episode. Next time, I definitely want to work better with the audio issues. I had stuff going up and down. If you enjoyed it, I appreciate you. If you could subscribe, even better. You could send it to somebody, even better. But yeah, it's going to be a lot more to come. Just please be patient, and we're going to get through this.